Kohala Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who were well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to these sincere brothers and sisters doing this, wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. And this definitely isn't something that's going to be very long because, one, this is not my forte. I don't really get into the women thing because, well, a Babylonian is going to be a Babylonian, all right? Their deities, their gods, the things that they hold near and dear, they will hold near and dear until they draw their last breath. So it is up to you as a man to be scrupulous about who you deal with. Okay? Because what this dude that I'm about to play, what he sounds like is a man that does not have rule over his spirit. Okay, don't go bringing scripture. And it's one thing, all right, to tell people about their judgment. I get it. I really do. But don't go bringing. I'm gonna just let it play. Okay, but the dude sounds like he has a lot to deal with as far as emotions. And dealing with them and just going on about your day, okay? Because if you are in the spirit, you can look and tell what kind of woman you are getting within the first couple of minutes, okay? You see the fake eyelashes, those nasty eyelashes, that nasty weave that okay? You know. If you see it, you see it. And it's that certain demographic. Your best bet is just to steer clear. But, if you're led by the head between your legs and not the one on your shoulders, it will drive you to make decisions that you will regret. And then you'll end up bitter, okay? These scriptures are true. They are living water. And they are for edification, and they are for, letting people know what's coming. But at the same time, why are you doing it? Is it because you're angry? Is it because you're bitter? Because a scumbag, in his words, a scumbag, low life B word played you? Or are you doing it because it is sincere and the spirit came upon him? Hey, maybe the spirit did come upon. I don't know. But the point of this is, and I'm rambling, is have control of your spirit and exercise a little attention to detail. Be scrupulous about who you have around you, especially when it comes to women. So we're going to get a couple scriptures. We'll let this play. And we'll get a couple scriptures, and then that'll be it. All right, so.
Hey, look here, you low-life scum, flat-boot ass bitch on the internet with a motherfucking string up your ass, slaw ass, garbage ass, egotistical, dust mouth, weed-headed, fake eyelash having makeup face ass bitch. Let me tell you something, ho. Humble yourself. See, I can't wait when the Most High allows the book of Isaiah, chapter 13 to come into existence. And bitches like you gonna be raped and killed because you hoes got too much mouth and you hoes is not in aligns with the Most High. You better read the book of Isaiah chapter 13 and see what's going to happen to you low-life scum ass, low-life bitches.
Is he wrong? No. But everything in balance. Everything, there's so many scriptures that are coming to mind, especially when it comes to saying things out of season. But the first one we're going to go to is First Esdras chapter 4. And then there's a couple more. What did I say? There was one. I need to pull it up really quick before I forget. It slips my mind. A word spoken out of season is what it is. Let's see. A word fitly spoken, or let me see, out of season. So there's two. We're gonna get a couple actually. No, they're both proverbs. It is the one that I was thinking of. No, 50. Anyway, let's start here. I should have organized it more, but more scriptures came to my mind. So if you read First Esdras chapter 3, there are three men that are with King Darius, and they are, having a little friendly competition about, who will be wiser, who has the wiser sentence, and they would be sitting with him, arrayed in purple, drinking of gold. All right, the things that men want. Every man wants to be on some sort of level, right? Okay, even if you're humble, you wouldn't turn down being elevated. All right, so one says wine, one says women, one says the king. Okay, so that's the backdrop of this little debate that they have going on here. So you will start it in chapter 3 and you will read into chapter 4. Okay, and I want to hone in on the one about the women. So we're going to start at 20, but the point is 26, where it says many men run out of their wits for women. Okay, and also there's a scripture in Psalms that I also want to get. But anyway, let's read 20 here. A man leaveth his own father that brought him up in his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife. He sticks not to spend his life with his wife, and neither father nor mother nor country. By this also you must know that women have dominion over you. Do ye not labor and toil, and give all, and bring all to the woman? Yea, a man taketh his sword, goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon the seas and upon rivers, and to looketh upon a lion, and goeth into darkness. And when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father and mother. Yea, many there be have run out of their wits for women, and become servants for their sakes. Okay, and that's what you don't want. You don't want anything to have control over you, and that is a prayer that we all need to pray. Some of us that are newer, you might got a smoking demon, or you may overindulge on alcohol, or you may overindulge on low caliber women, or you may overindulge on anything. It could even be the gym, whatever. Right? And there's nothing wrong with being healthy, but we have to keep in mind the perspective what truly nourishes you throughout all walks of life, and that is, serving the Lord, serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushai in sincerity and in truth, seeking perfection, striving for perfection. Okay, because you may know a couple of scriptures, but is your spirit on point? Are you making the right decisions in the right time, speaking the right words in the right time? Are you doing things? Are you judging yourself? Are you taking a step back and say, damn, I'm really tripping right now. Let me do X, Y, Z, whatever. These are all things that come with discipline and seeking perfection. All right, the Lord will meet you halfway. Well, hell, we can't even get half. The Lord will meet us 3/4 of the way, because we only getting a quarter of the way on our own, if that. All right. So we have that. We read Second Esdras. What else did I want to get? Haughty women. So we'll go to Ecclesiasticus. All right, this is just also, how to spot a very low caliber a woman, somebody that doesn't add anything to your life. You don't want, especially women, goodness gracious, picking the wrong woman can set you back in so many more ways than 10. So you really have to pay attention. You really have to know who you are as a man, and there's really no way to truly do that. And I mean truly do that, unless you hold up these scriptures and you compare them. All right, or like I usually use the analogy, this Bible is a sword. You take that sword and you carve out those things off yourself. Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach 26, verse because it talks about a good wife. All right, a good wife. This is verse 3, but the point, I believe, is a little bit further down. So we'll skim over these and see where it fits. Actually, no, man, we're going to hit the top. I know I said it wasn't going to be long, but hey, we getting scriptures. All right, so, if this ain't your thing, this ain't your thing, but we going to get these scriptures. At the top, Sirach, also known Ecclesiasticus chapter 26. Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. Whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart towards the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. All right. So there is a little tidbit, a little answer to your test if you're looking right there. And that is why it's important for us, preaching to self, to continuously search these scriptures. Even if you've read that chapter before, read it again. You're going to find something new. I guarantee it. This is a living document. This is Yahushua didn't say this was living waters for no reason. He didn't say anything for no reason. Everything the Lord speaks, has a purpose, has an intent. When that intent manifests itself to you is not up to you, but it will when the time is right. Verse 5, there be things that mine heart feareth. There be 3 things that mine heart feareth. And for the 4th, I was sore afraid. The slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and a false accusation. All these are worse than death. And yeah, almost. Well, actually, no, they are, especially a false accusation. And we'll keep going. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. A drunken woman and a gatherer abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. And this is evident. You see it plain as day everywhere you look. If you pick up a rock and throw it, you're going to hit somebody bare ass cheek. Or knock one of their eyelashes off. Where are we at? Verse 9. The whoredom of a woman, this is the point here. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and her eyelids. Sometimes, it just be verbatim. You can look at it and do with that what you will, right? Proverbs 25. Because we also need both books. Both chapters in Psalms that I was thinking about as well. So we'll do Proverbs first. How much farther down? Proverbs 25 and 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. You must practice self-control. You must practice restraint. Okay, and if you have not read Isaiah 13, it is the doom of Babylon. It's the prophecy about Babylon and the judgment on the day of the Lord, okay? Because the only reason why these proud and haughty, I can't even call them women, these proud and haughty animals, these dogs, are the way they are is because, society is intact. But as soon as a whiff of anarchy, as soon as a whiff of unrest happens and nobody cares about social norms, a lot of those things go out of the way, and you have a lot of bad actors who also have been burned by these dogs who are looking for revenge because they have no rule over their spirit. All they are controlled by is blind rage or impulse because they were raised by the very dogs that they date. So nobody gets away. Okay, there is a recompense for each and every one of us. And, it's better to be, chastised now than to receive the full wrath of the Lord in the day of the Lord. So there's that. We got that. There was a couple Proverbs. Did I say 25? Or did I say Psalms? We're in Proverbs right now. So, yeah, we got that. And then we need 15. So let's scroll back here. 14. The heart of him that hath understanding seeketh knowledge, but the mouth of fools feedeth on foolishness. Exactly. I think that is pretty self-explanatory. Because the more, it's an old saying, it talks about you knew better, you do better. So seeking the Lord, right? Seeking, striving, searching for that perfection, right? Knowing that you will not reach it in this flesh. But I liken it unto training with a partner. So if you're sparring with a partner that is leagues above you, okay? Footwork better, head movement better. He times your openings just superbly, and it seems he makes you look like you've never fought a day in your life. Okay, you train with that partner, and then you go up against somebody else who may be on your level. Watch how differently your game changes, right? So I liken that unto seeking understanding. You study a partner, you study something that is bigger than you, and try to emulate it. Okay, all right, are you seeing what I'm saying? Study something bigger and better than you and emulate. Do your best to emulate. Do what they do. Train how they train. Right? What did Yahushua do in XYZ situation? What did one of the prophets do? XYZ situation. Things that are written aforetime are written for our learning. Did I read it? 15 and is in 23. All right. In due season, and that's the word I was looking for, I believe. Because there's also 25. There's also one in Proverbs 25, so we'll go back to that as well. Damn, we go back to that. So let's read about a word spoken in due season. And I'm getting this because it doesn't matter what you tell these Babylonians. Like, you think she gonna go read that? You think she gonna come back and be like, oh, I was so wrong and you were right? No, they don't care, because their God is not yours. They have two different, you and them worship two different gods. Proverbs 15:25. I'm sorry, Proverbs 15 and we have to go back to 25, but what we're at now is Proverbs 15, okay, and 23. And then we'll go back to 25, and that'll be it. A man hath joy by the answers of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season. How good is it? The way of life is above the way of life is above to the wise, that he may depart from hell beneath. Okay, stop dwelling with this. Pay attention to who you let in your life. Okay, and you won't dwell in garbage. And garbage will not cause you to act out of character because you exercise some scruples. You use the spirit, and the spirit tells you to stay away from that nasty bit. Stay away from that low down mug. Just go somewhere else. All right. Use your hand and regroup and try again tomorrow. I don't know, but pay attention to the flags, okay? And finally, about a word that is fit in due season. We'll go back to Proverbs 25, and then that will be the video, man. 25 and 11. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pictures of silver, as an earring of gold and as an ornament of fine gold. So is a wise reprover upon obedient ear. All right, so you're preaching to deaf ears, okay? But I understand the anger, and I do it to be imbalanced. I understand the anger, and I do understand the frustration, especially when you're newer in the truth and you realize, like, okay, there is a God, and there is a recompense coming. I ain't gonna be effed up forever. Okay, I trust me. Many brothers who have been in this situation or who have graduated from this. This is just something to graduate from. You understand the frustration. Cool. But use this, as a cautionary tale to avoid certain situations. Pay attention. Avoid certain situations. Avoid certain people. And to exercise restraint. Control yourself. Control your emotions. Control the feelings that you feel. Do not act on impulse. All right.